All right, what's up, everyone? Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we're going to get into another quick play demonstration of Glory Days college football. And this matchup will feature the LSU Tigers taking on the Oregon Ducks. And I'll also keep stats and use the score sheet I've created to translate stats into actual game stats. So LSU will be receiving the opening kickoff, and for the drive charts for both teams, their opening drive is a 7 on offense, 8 on defense. Oregon is 10 on offense, 7 on defense. And their second drive, or basically the plus territory drive numbers, are 11 and 13 for LSU and 16 and 15 for Oregon. So what that will equate to is LSU on their first portion of the drive will have go off the even column here for a successful drive. If they get into plus territory, it will be a -4. And for Oregon, it will be a +2 for the initial portion of the drive and a +3 to finish the drive. All right, so here we go. Let's start with the kickoff. And Oregon kicking off is a C, and LSU on their kickoff return is a D. And kickoff is going to be a touchback, so LSU is going to start on their own 25-yard line. And we'll also be using the optional potential penalties in this version too. So the way that will work, if it comes up, we'll talk about that as it comes up. But basically, if a penalty is rolled on the drive, it has the potential to kill a drive or extend a stopped drive. All right, they need a 33 or better to have a successful drive. 31, they're going to have to punt, and that's going to be 4 plays, 10 yards. So they get up to the 35-yard line. And punting, LSU is going to be a B, and Oregon's punt return is a C. All right, so 8 on the punt chart, 8B, that is going to be a 40-yard punt. So it goes down to the Oregon 25, return number of 1. And again, Oregon's punt return is a C. 1C is going to be a fair catch. So Oregon starts their first drive on the 25-yard line as well. As we're joined by Eric C. and Matt, Steeler Fan 1933. Welcome, guys. Just getting underway. Both teams will have 11 drives in this game, first quarter. And Oregon, with a +2, this is going to be a successful drive. So 17 from the 25-yard line. That's going to be 6 plays, 36 yards. So that'll get down to the LSU 39-yard line. And second portion of the drive, they will go with a +3 on the drive chart. And 67, and that is going to be a successful second portion of the drive, and 12 on that. So 12 on the quick play, 5 plays, 38 yards. That gets it down to the 1-yard line, and we're going to go into goal line mode. And Oregon, their goal line rating adjusted by LSU for this game is going to be a roll of 14 or less. They'll punch it in. 13, they get it in, so you add a play. Makes it a 6-play, 39-yard drive, and Oregon scores on the first drive of the game. Extra point for the Ducks is up and good, and they race out to a 7-0 lead. LSU set to receive the kickoff, and 4C on the kickoff, that is going to be down to the goal line, and LSU on the return. And again, LSU on their kickoff return is a D. So 3D is going to be a 12-yard return. That's where LSU takes over, a very marginal return, to say the least, as the Tigers start theirs. D. Scott Howard, our good friend from Washington, has joined us. All right, Washington up 7-0, and LSU, they're going to have a successful drive. And from the 12, 2, that's going to be 8 plays, 61 yards. So that's going to be down 73 yards to the 27. All right, so after being stopped the first time, LSU with a chance to score here on their second possession of the ball game. And 25 and 25, this is coming at, yeah. Hold on, I got to move my score sheet out here. All right, second drive comes off the -4 column, which means 45 or better, and LSU is going to get stopped. A roll of 9 is 3 plays, no yards, and they are going to be stopped on the 27, forced to kick a field goal. And this will be a 44-yard attempt. LSU from 40 to 49 is 0 to 74. Kick is up and good, and the Tigers are on the board here in the first quarter on their second drive. Oregon set to receive the kickoff. Total yards so far, Oregon 75 and LSU 71. And the Tigers kick off, and their kickoff is an A. 7 is going to be a touchback. Oregon starts their next drive on the 25-yard line. Each team one more drive here in the first quarter. The Ducks march straight down the field their first time, and no penalty chance. 77, that is going to be another successful drive. A roll of 5 is going to be 7 plays, 51 yards. Down to the Oregon 34. So the Ducks defense is clicking, and they make this roll at a +3 on the drive chart, 73. That is going to be another successful drive, roll of 2. And that is going to be 2 plays, 25 yards. So they get down to the 9. And they're going to have another chance to try and finish this. Going to need 14 or better. And 20, they get stuck there. So they'll get a play added, and they're going to be forced to kick a field goal now. So close. This will be a 26-yard field goal, and this is 0 to 97. Kick is up and easily good, and Oregon extends the lead to 10-0 or 10-3. So again, the way the drive, the goal line rating works is if a team gets stopped on their second portion of the drive inside the 10, they'll get a single 1D20 roll to attempt to finish that drive off. And that rating was implemented just in previous testing to offset the basically the abundance of field goals that we were seeing. And that is definitely more in line now with what it should be. All right, Oregon set to kick it off, and a 4. That's going to be down to the goal line, LSU. And again, LSU kickoff return of D. And 8D, that's going to be up to the 22-yard line. This will be the final possession of the first quarter. LSU again, 33 or better for a successful drive, and they do have a successful drive, 18. As I'm stuttering over my words here, 7 plays, 46 yards. So 68, that is down to the 32-yard line. All right, second portion of the drive, and this comes at a -4 for LSU, meaning it has to be 45 or better, and they're going to get stopped again. This will be a 10, and that's going to be 6 plays, 20 yards. That gets it down to the 12-yard line, and they're going to have to try a field goal from there. So first quarter coming to a close, and this will be a 29-yard field goal, and 0 to 97. It is up, and it is barely good. Ticked off the upright, but LSU on the scoreboard again, and they cut the lead to 10-6 as we conclude the first quarter. And Oregon set to receive the kickoff. And LSU kickoff is of A. That's going to be a touchback. So Oregon once again on the 25-yard line. We've had no drive killing or extending penalties yet. 55 on a plus successful drive for the Ducks. And that's going to be 6 plays, 38 yards. And it's going to be down to the 37-yard line now of LSU. So Oregon piling up the yardage so far in this one. They'll roll this on a +3, and the Tiger defense needs to step up. They need 26 or better, and they're not going to get it. But we have a potential penalty. So we will roll for the penalty and Oregon. Their penalty rating is 1 to 10 on offense. So we will first get the yardage here for the successful drive. And 2, that is going to be 5 plays and 40 yards. That will be a touchdown if there is no penalty. And again, this has to be 10 or less. And 16, no, Oregon punches it in. That will go down as a 5-play, 37-yard finish. And we have a shootout going here in this one as the extra point is up and good. Oregon has scored on each of its first 3 possessions, and here early in the second quarter, they lead this 17-6, ready to kick off again to the Tigers. And LSU, they're going to need to get a stop at some point. They can't keep up with this pace against Oregon's high-powered offense. And 3C, it's going to be a touchback, so LSU starts on the 25-yard line. And LSU, 2 drives left in the first half, as does Oregon. So Tigers forced to get a successful drive to keep pace, 37, and they are going to indeed get that in a roll of 20. It's going to be 2 plays, 38 yards. Down to the 37 of LSU, and again going off a -4 here. Oregon's defense has been good in their territory. 72 on a -4, and it's not going to be good this time, as that's going to be a 12 on the quick play finish, and 5 plays, 38 yards. That is a touchdown, officially a 5-play, 37-yard touchdown drive, and LSU has gotten into the end zone for the first time tonight. As again, we have a shootout going here. Extra point is up and good. 17-13, and we are not halfway through the second quarter yet, as LSU set to kick it off. And 7A, that's going to be a touchback, so Oregon starts on the 25-yard line, both teams with 2 drives left. And Oregon will look to keep their offensive success going here as they start from the 25-yard line. They need 29 or better, and they're going to be finally stopped by LSU. 5 plays, 12 yards. Gets up to the 37. And Oregon sends their punter on for the first time in this game. Oregon punting is a B and a roll of 4. That is going to be a 56-yard punt, all the way down to the LSU 5 and 9. We're going to the LSU big play team chart for punt returns. And they've got a couple of decent ones and a couple of disastrous ones here. 9, that's going to be 7 yards. So once again, LSU, second time they've started to drive inside their 15. They're going to start at the 12. And they'll have one more drive after this, as will Oregon. LSU looking to make hay now, and 71. It's going to be another successful drive, 2. And that is going to be 8 plays, 61 yards. And again, to the 27-yard line. So LSU climbing back in this. Neither team's defense, both teams have only had to punt a single time. And LSU now going at a -4. Both teams closing in on 300 yards here in the first half alone. And that's a 3. Nothing they roll here is going to be successful. So that is going to be, and I bumped the 1D20. We'll roll that again. 17, that's going to be 5 plays, 25 yards. They get down to the 2. And LSU now with a chance to punch it in, however. And LSU's goal line rating is going to be a 12 with Oregon's adjustment. And they punch it in. So LSU gets an extra play added on there. Their second touchdown of the day, and extra point is up and good. And LSU now has stormed back to take a 20-17 lead. Both teams with one more drive left in the first half. And again, this is turning into quite the shootout. Did not need all these dice. 4, that is going to be a touchback. So Oregon's final drive of the first half is going to start on their 25-yard line. Let's see if the Ducks can answer. Here we go. 38 and 38. That is going to be a successful drive. And roll of 7. That is 7 plays. Oops. 7 plays, 41 yards. So 66 down to the LSU 34. Oregon now a +3, and this needs to be 27 or better, and 89. That is getting into big play territory, and that will indeed be a big pass play. And the recipient of that is going to be Johnson for the Ducks. So again, big plays are carved out separate from the rest of the offense and added in after the fact. All right, let's see what we have here. 34 and Oregon on their big pass play 2. Pretty much every result but one will get them into the end zone. And roll of 4, that is going to be 37 yards, so it counts as a 34-yard touchdown. We're going to storm back to take the lead as we come down to the closing minutes of the first half. It is now 24-20, and LSU has one more opportunity at halftime. In the second half, Oregon will have 6 drives and LSU 5, which could make a significant difference. That's going to be a touchback, LSU on their own 25-yard line. All right, here we go. 74 and LSU successful drive, 16, and that's going to be 5 plays, 30 yards. Down to the Oregon 39-yard line. And again, defense non-existent here in the first half, and 22, they are going to get stopped rolling on -4 their second drive. So roll of 4, and that is going to be 5 plays, 12 yards down to the 27, and they'll be stopped there. So field goal attempt for the Tigers. And this will be a 44-yard, but LSU misses a field goal as the first half comes to a conclusion. And score at the end of the first half, Oregon 24 and LSU 20. We'll get right into the second half action. And again, guys, any questions you have on this, please feel free to leave them in the chat or in comments if you watch this after the fact. And please hit that like button as Oregon going to be receiving the second half kickoff. And here it comes from LSU. That's going to be a touchback. So Oregon starts the second half on the 25-yard line. They scored a touchdown there last time. Let's see if LSU can muster some defense here. 42, that's going to be a successful drive for the Ducks, and that will be 7 plays, 44 yards. Down to the LSU 31-yard line, and closing out the drive, +3 for the Ducks. And this just needs to be 27 or better, 35, and a roll of 20. And that is going to be 1 play, 23 yards down to the 8. And a chance to finish now for Oregon. They need 14 or less. They got it. So officially 2 plays, 30 yards to finish the drive, and Oregon into the end zone again. They're going to extend their lead over the Tigers, who have had defensive issues. First drive of the second half. It is now Oregon 31, LSU 20. And Oregon set to kick off too. That's going to be a touchback. Tigers start on the 25-yard line, their first drive of the second half. And both teams piling up the yardage here in this one. So far, LSU, 348 total yards, Oregon, 387. And this game is going to be all over the place in terms of total yardage as another successful drive for the Tigers. Neither team's defense stepping up. 11, and this is going to be 4 plays, 31 yards. So this will be a little bit tougher finish for the Tigers. This is down to the Oregon 44, and again, they're going a -4 here, meaning they need 45 or better, and 89 Looks like that will be a, oh no, that's going to be a potential fumble. So 89-14 on the yardage for that on a potential fumble, and that is going to be 5 plays, 33 yards. So that is down to the 11, not close enough to go for the goal line if they do recover their fumble. And fumble recovery, Oregon, they are a -3 defensively on fumble recoveries. LSU is only 1-6, so 1-3 for a turnover, 7, and LSU retains possession, but they're going to have to kick a field goal. 28-yarder, 97 or less, up and good. And that makes it 31-23. And Tigers set to kick it off now as Oregon. Again, both teams only a single punt in this one. That is going to be another touchback for the Tigers, who have a A-rated kickoff team. Oregon once again starting from the 25-yard line. And here we go. Oregon 46, and that will be yet another successful drive, and this time it's going to be 5 plays, 43 yards. So 68 down to the 32-yard line. As Oregon now goes over 400 yards total offense as they look to finish this drive. +3, LSU needing the defense to step up, 94. That is going to be a possible interception. So again, we will do the yardage on that. Interception yards roll of 15. That is 5 plays, 28 yards. That is all the way down to the 4. And turnover rate for Oregon on interceptions, they are a 1-8, and LSU is a -3, so it's got to be 5 or less, and that will not be picked off. Oregon now has a chance to punch it in from the 4, and they do indeed. So add 4 yards and another play to that drive. And 3 touchdowns in a row for the Ducks as they're starting to blow this one wide open. And 90 kick is up and good. And it's now 38-23 Oregon. And again, crazy offense, both teams. Now we have in the game over 800 total yards as Oregon set to kick it off. And kickoff is a C. 3C, that's going to be a touchback. Tigers start at the 25-yard line. No turnovers yet in this one. And after this, Oregon will have one more drive in the third quarter, and we will move to the fourth. LSU desperately needs a good drive here to keep pace, and the offensive dice gods are out in force. This will be a potential penalty, however. So we'll get the yardage first, and this penalty could kill the drive again. And 6 on the successful drive from the 25. That is going to be 5 plays, 40 yards. Down to the Oregon 35-yard line. So now rolling the penalty. LSU offensive penalties is a 1-6. They were good in terms of penalties. And 9, no penalties. The drive continues. So from the 35-yard line, looking to punch it in, LSU 41 and a -4. That is going to be a stop. 15 is 3 plays, 7 yards, down to the 28. So again, Oregon's defense coming up big in plus territory. And this will be a 45-yard field goal. LSU 0-74. They've missed one from this distance, and they miss another. So second missed field goal of the game for the Tigers. And Oregon takes over on the 28-yard line. Final drive of the third quarter. Oregon up 38-23. And looking to put the dagger in the Tigers here, as this will be another successful drive for the Ducks. So from the 28-yard line, roll of 17 on the drive chart. That's going to be 6 plays, 36 yards. All right, 58-64, so that's down to the 36-yard line, and Oregon going +3 here to finish the drive, 92, and that gets us into fumble territory. So another potential turnover, and LSU really needs to take advantage and make one of these happen. This is going to be 4 plays, 37 yards. So this is going to be all the way down to the 7. So big opportunity here for the Tigers. And again, Oregon, 1-7 on the fumble, and LSU is a -4. So it's got to be 3 or less, and no. Oregon now a chance to punch it in again, and 12, they do it. So add 7 yards in another play, and LSU's defense getting mauled. An extra point is up and good, and third quarter mercifully comes to an end for the Tigers, and it's going to be 45-23 heading into the fourth. And Oregon, let's see if they'll get to put some substitutes in as they are turning this into a blowout. And Terry Spillers has joined us. Welcome, buddy. Again, demonstrating the quick play Glory Days college football version. And this is Oregon LSU. And LSU did have some defensive issues. This will be a touchback, so the Tigers at their own 25 to start the fourth quarter and trailing 45-23. All right, LSU, they need a successful drive, 33 or better, and 85. And this is in big play territory. This is a big pass play. So the recipient of the big pass is going to be 20, and that will be Davis Price for LSU. And let's see what they have here on the big pass play chart. LSU, they do have a TD on a roll of 6. A lot of other good numbers, 0, and that's going to be a 46-yard big play. Down to the 29-yard line. For both teams, only one big play each in this game. It's been a story of sustained drives. LSU now looking to capitalize and finish this drive off. 97 and 97 on a -4. That is going to be a possible interception. So 11 on the interception yardage chart is going to be 5 plays, 38 yards. That will be a touchdown if they don't get picked. All right, interception rating for LSU, and Johnson, not stellar there. He is 1-10, and Oregon is a +3, so 13 or less. It's picked, and 10 intercepted in the end zone. So a drive-killing pick by the Ducks. They're going to take over on the 25 for their first drive of the fourth quarter, and LSU is deflated, trailing 45-23. And Oregon looks to pile it on, and they're going to get stopped here. A rare stop, only the second time they've been stopped today. Only 2 yards on 3 plays. So Oregon's punt team on, and again, their punt rating is a B. 9B and 94. LSU's block's a 99, so they get that off close to a block. 34-yard punt, and the Tigers could have used that. So 54-61 down to the 39-yard line of LSU. And LSU's punt return, again, is a D, and 4D, that is going to be a 3-yard return. So up to the 42-yard line. Good field position for the Tigers here, and second drive of the fourth quarter. They'll have one more after this. This game is probably out of hand at this point. And 30, this is going to help as they will get stopped. 5 plays, 12 yards. And down to the 45-yard line. And they are going to have to punt from there. Their second punt of the game. So from the 45, LSU punting and roll of 2. Their punt rating is a B. 2B, 37 yards, and that is down to the 8-yard line, and a punt return roll of 2. Oregon is a C on the punt return. 2C, no return. Oregon's going to take over on the 8. Oregon, both teams over 500 yards total offense in this one. Actually, LSU has outgained Oregon, but again, turnovers and missed field goals have doomed the Tigers. 36, it's going to be a successful drive, and 20, 2 plays, 48 yards. So down to the LSU 44. And that will get Oregon back in the lead in terms of total offense. 585 to 544 now. No defense at all. Defense optional in this game. And Oregon looking to finish off. LSU is going to come up with a stop, however, 0-6 and 3. That is going to be 3 plays, 2 yards. So down to the 42, and that is not within field goal range. So they're going to have to punt, their third punt of the game. And each team, 1 drive left after this. Oregon's punt team from the 42, and their punt team is a B. 2B, 37-yarder, and that's down to the 5, and LSU on the punt return. 5D, and that is going to be no return. So LSU starts their final drive of the game on the 5-yard line. And Oregon will go into conservative mode, and I will explain how that works after this drive for their final drive of the game. 20, LSU is going to get stopped. It's going to be 4 plays, 10 yards. So both teams' defense is finally waking up late in this one. LSU is going to have to punt now from their own 15. 4 plays, 10 yards on that drive. And the punt for LSU, who again is a B. 8B, that's a 40-yard punt. So Oregon fields that on their own 45-yard line, and 5C on the punt return is going to be a fair catch there. All right, so you can basically call off the dogs or go into conservative mode. And the way that works in the quick play version, it is a -3 from all drive results. So Oregon firmly in control, 45-23, and surprisingly, no points scored in this fourth quarter. They're going to go into conservative mode and just run out the clock, basically, and they could score again still. But this makes their initial drive a -1 on the chart, meaning they need to get 35 or better. And 45, they still pull off a successful drive and roll of 15. So 15 based on this field position, 3 plays, 24 yards. Down to the LSU 31, and this portion of the drive will be in the even column, meaning they need 32 or better to finish the drive, and they are going to get stuffed. And roll of 11, that is going to be 4 plays, 12 yards, and that gets them down to the 19. And they're going to try a field goal late here in the fourth quarter. This will be a 36-yard field goal attempt. And Oregon from 0 to 39 is 0. Sorry, 30 to 39 is 0 to 65. Kick is up, and it is good, and that's going to do it. All right, so the only scoring here in the fourth quarter, that Oregon field goal, and that makes the final score Oregon Ducks 48, LSU 23. And let's go in and do our statistics now. So just to give you an idea, the Excel sheet that's going to come with this game is going to have ratings. And I'll just show you here, and we'll do LSU's. I'll do the rest offline, but we'll do LSU's here. So just for rushing here, each ball carrier has a letter rating and a number rating, and the number rating is used to determine big plays and touchdowns. And for Davis Price, he is a C. And basically what that means, LSU, with the adjustment, they ran for 128 yards on 44 carries. So what that does there, first you look at his adjustment, he is a +2. So in my Excel chart here, you will put that information in there. And he is going to end up with 22 carries for 108 yards. That's actually going to be the bulk of the Oregon rushing attack. All right, next up for the Ducks as we round this out, Kiner, he is a +1 and he is an I. He's 9 carries, 34 yards. Williams also going to be a +1 and he's an L. And L is a 2 carries for 9 yards for him. Next runner up is Goodwin, also an L, also a +1, 2 carries, 9 yards for him. And our final ball carrier is going to be the quarterback Johnson. And not quite at the level of those other guys. He is an I, and he is a -4. So that's where we balance out these stats here as you go through this. So he's going to end up with 9 carries for -10 yards. All right, so what you do at this point then is you have to balance out the yardage, and that's, you kind of just do that by feel. So the carries came out exactly as they should. And the only difference is we have to deduct 22 yards. So that top ball carrier, and the Excel spreadsheet shows you this. And I'll do another video where I just focus on the Excel spreadsheet. So Davis Price, he is going to end up with 22 carries for 86 yards. That will balance the total and giving the Tigers 128 yards on 44 carries. Balances out perfectly. So again, just to show you that you can do the individual stats. Davis Price, 22 carries, 86 yards. Kiner, 9 carries, 34 yards. Williams and Goodwin each had 2 carries for 9 yards. And Johnson, and this, of course, would incorporate potential sacks, 9 carries, -10 yards. All right. Let's do Oregon now. So Oregon ran 46 times for 218 yards. And for the Ducks, Dye is an E. And he's going to be a +1. So his base is 18 carries, 106 yards. Next up, Brown is a G, and he's a -1 to the, and that's these minuses and pluses I'm talking about adjust his yards per carry. So he ends up finishing with 14 carries for 52 yards. Cardwell is a K, and Cardwell is a +1. So 5 carries, 26 yards for Cardwell. And again, this was the one area. Verdell is a J, no adjustment. Verdell, 7 carries, 33 yards. This was the one area that was really challenging when coming up with a quick play version, is how to accurately or semi-accurately get individual player stats. And McGee is an L. He is a -1. So he's going to end up with 2 carries for 9 yards. And we will have to make one adjustment here. And again, the Excel spreadsheet shows you where to do this. This adjustment comes to Dye. His final numbers are going to be 18 carries for 98 yards. And that's basically it. So passing, we'll go ahead and do that as well. And the same principle, the receivers all have different letter and number ratings. So first of all, in terms of attempts and completions, Johnson for LSU, he was, and I actually didn't put in the correct completion percentages. Hold on. Johnson is going to be 56% for this game. And Oregon's quarterback Brown is going to be a stellar 69%. And again, this is also on the team cards. All right, so LSU, Johnson, 27 for 47, 426 yards total. As total offense, LSU, 554, Oregon, a whopping 623. All right, so we'll do the numbers for the receivers now. All right, automatically. So for LSU, Butte, he is a J, and he has a +1 adjustment. And that is protected. All right, Butte +1. So he's going to end up with 5 catches for 62 yards. Jenkins is a J, and he's a +2. So 5 catches, 67 yards for Jenkins. Beck is an I, which makes him 6 catches, and his he's a -1. So 6 catches, 70 yards for him. And again, doing a quick play, your stats are never going to be 100% accurate, but this gets you in the ballpark. And of course, there's 3 ways to play this game. You can play quick play, hybrid, or full play-by-play mode. So Neighbors K rating, he's going to have 3 catches for 45 yards with his +2 adjustment. Thomas also a K rating, no adjustment. 3 catches, 38 yards for Thomas. And Palmer, he is also a K rating, -1 for him. 3 catches, 35 yards for Thomas, or for Palmer, sorry. Smith is +4, and he's an L, 2 catches for 26 yards. Lee is an L, -3. 2 catches, 14 yards for him. Taylor is an L, +2. 2 catches, 22 yards for him. And Davis Price is also an L, -6. So 2 catches, 9 yards for him, and then we have to make our adjustment. All right, so all right, final numbers balanced. So final stats for receiving: Butte, 5 catches, 100 yards. Jenkins, 5 catches, 67. Beck, 6 catches, 70. Neighbors, 3 catches, 45. Thomas Jr., 3 catches, 38. Palmer, 3 catches, 35. Lee, 2 catches, 14. Taylor, 2 catches, 22. And Davis Price, 1 catch for 9. And we'll go ahead. Oregon passing the ball. Oregon's quarterback, Brown, he was a very nice 32 of 47. Oh, and also give an interception to Johnson for LSU. So 32-47, 405 yards, and we'll finish out or determine their receivers. All right, Williams is a J, and he's a +4. All right, so his base is going to be 5 catches, 77 yards. Hudson is a J plus 2. So he's going to be 5 catches, 67 yards. Guy is an I, which makes him, he's a minus 2. So 6 catches, 64 yards for Die. Johnson and Franklin are both K, so they're both going to have 3 catches, and Johnson is even. And Franklin is a minus 1. So for Johnson, catches and 38 yards. Franklin, 3 catches, 35 yards. Red, okay, the next 3 are all L's, meaning they basically get 2 catches. Red is a plus 3, so 2 for 24. Pittman is a plus 4, so 2 for 26. Thornton is a plus 7, 2 for 30 for Thornton. Ferguson is a K minus 3, so he's going to have 3 for 29 for his base. And finally, Webb is a minus 5. He's also an L, so 2 for 11. All right, and then all right, so yardage adjustment. Williams is going to get 4 yards added on to his total, so he's got 5 for 81. So those are your final receiving stats, and that's it. You know, it actually filling in the Excel sheet again, you see it takes probably about 10, 15 minutes. You don't have to do it. You fill it in during the game if you just want to keep total offense stats, or if you're simming, say you're doing the Pac-12 schedule and you're going to play USC and sim all the other games. You don't even have to keep stats. Just do the quick play method, and that will get everything done for you. So again, total final stats, and again, this was an offensive slugfest, minus LSU's turnovers and inept special teams. So LSU, 91 plays, 554 yards total offense. Oregon, 92 plays, 623. Both fast-paced offenses, and that's going to be it. Quick play demonstration of Glory Days College football. Thanks again for stopping in. Matt Steeler Fan 1933, Eric C., D. Scott Howard, and Terry Spillers. Hope you all have a great night. And this is Anthony. Take care. We will see you later.